here we are already in March 2013, and I was lucky enough to interview Shartimus Prime at the San Jose toy show. So thank you so much, Shartimus, for taking time out of your day to answer my questions, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Stick around to the end of the video, and you can see footage from the toy show where Shartimus Prime and his friend Phil are digging through the loose Marvel Legends, where I was lucky enough to find one of the items from my San Jose toy show haul. Alright, so Shartimus Prime, this is first appearance Spider-Man in a very difficult pose, balanced on this bar, ACBA style. So this is for you, brother. Take it easy. So here we are in San Jose, California. Beautiful day. And this is Shartimus Prime. I don't know if you want to give out your real name.
Oh, Shartimus Prime. Yeah. What's up, Mike?
And just wanted to ask him a few questions. He's got obviously lots of fans and followers in the community, especially for Marvel Legends. So first question I had was, what are some of the first comics that you were exposed to or given or purchased growing up?
Ooh, the very first comic book I got was Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. I think it was number, was it 6 or something like that? It was the one with the Hobgoblin on the cover. I remember that just looked so cool to me. I was actually like 7 or 8 years old or something like that. My family was gonna take a plane ride to Venezuela, and my mom wanted us something to do on the plane, so we weren't held bored. So she just stopped by the comic book store that was across the street from the post office, and she just told each of us to just grab something that we wanted. And I don't know, I didn't really know at that time. I didn't really know what Spider-Man was or anything. I just thought it looked really cool, and so I picked that up, and then that was like my introduction to Spider-Man. And yeah, since then, at the time, gotta be honest, when I was that young, I just looked at the pictures. I didn't really read any of it. As I was getting a little older, I was actually reading them and ended up really liking it a lot. And I had subscriptions to The Amazing Spider-Man, so I've been reading The Amazing Spider-Man for a really long time. So Spidey, #1 for me, man.
So he's still your favorite character?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. So does that mean you were first exposed to comic book characters in the books themselves, or was there TV and movies, and which ones were they?
Oh, well, no, not really TV and movies so much. It was actually the comics, and then later on, I remember I was in the 4th grade. I was like in daycare, and I left to go use the bathroom, and there was one of those Marvel Universe Series 1 trading cards.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys remember those. Do you remember those things? They're little trading cards. They just have a cool picture of the character, and then on the back, a bio.
I had the X-Men ones.
Oh, okay, yeah. The X-Men ones came out around the same time.
Was it like early 90s?
Yeah, very early 90s. And I think 91 is when this came out. And so I just saw Iron Man on the floor. It was all crinkled up and everything, and I thought it was so cool. And I just held on to this messed up card, and I just thought Iron Man just looked so tight. And then somebody else had some more of them, and I was wondering where they got them. So I went back to that same comic book store and started getting those cards and stuff too. So I would get my cards and comics from that same comic shop. And coincidentally, that comic shop is known as Coastside Comics.
So you grew up in Pacifica?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the comic book store I get my books from today is the same one.
So you've been going there your whole life?
Yeah. Well, actually, there was a break because they opened up a comic book store that was really close to my parents' house. So there was one that was closer in town that I would shop at, and then that closed down. So I went back to Coastside because it was on the other. It was like a 15-minute drive away, which was like a really far. It was really far when you're a kid, you know what I mean? Because the other one was a bike ride away. So.
Sure, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So describe when you first discovered Marvel Legends, and which were the first figures that you picked up? I think I remember you saying this in one of your videos. I don't know if it was your Shartimus Wank channel, but I think you were on tour
Nah, I was on.
Oh, that was a different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. Well, the first, but close though, because that tour story was a Wolverine. But anyway, I digest. The first Marvel Legends Series 3 Wolverine was the first Marvel Legend I had picked up. But technically, the Spider-Man Classics Magnetic Hand Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I mean the red carded Spider-Man Classics, not like the pre-Legends ones, you know. That was actually the first real like Marvel Legend like figure that I picked up. So that one, my best friend's mom had actually picked that up, and then he was like, "Dude, this is cool," because my best friend's uncle was really into comics, so his mom thought they were really cool and everything. So she would just pick up random comic type stuff that she would see, and she saw that and just grabbed it for her son, who was 21 at the time. And we were just playing with this magnetic Spidey and just throwing it around in the fridge and everything, and just looking at the poses, and like, oh, that's sick, and it was like hella poseable. And then one day she brought a Daredevil figure. Oh, I had to get myself that magnetic Spidey, so I went and got my own. And then she brought Daredevil from Spider-Man Classics, not the original Spider-Man Classics, but the red carded Daredevil that came with that brick base thing. And that, to me, is like really more of a Marvel Legend, and that just tripped me out how much I was able to pose that figure. I still love that figure to this day. I actually have 3 of those Daredevils really now. So yeah, that's what really got me exposed to it. And then I picked that up, and then I had picked up a movie Hulk because my friend Paulo had gotten a movie Hulk, and then I guess when I was getting the movie Hulk or something, I saw Wolverine. Marvel Legends. I saw the rack of Marvel Legends, so I kind of caught on to them late. I was like buying non-Marvel Legends while there were Marvel Legends there. So I saw that Wolverine, and like the first thing that jumped in my head was like, "What? Todd McFarlane's making Marvel figures now? These are Todd McFarlane Marvel figures. This is so cool. How did they do this?" Like, I thought Todd McFarlane was all about Image and everything, but no, it wasn't Image. It wasn't McFarlane. It was its own thing. So blew my mind. So I snagged the Wolverine. And from then on, I was addicted.
So what wave of Marvel Legends is that first Wolverine?
Series 3.
Series 3, okay.
Yeah, Series 3 Wolverine. Yep.
Okay. Very cool. Let's see.
There's still Series 1 figures out at the time. So there's still plenty of Series 1 figures and Series 2 figures. So I picked up Captain America shortly after. So
it's like I'm going to bring his baby
still,
over.
They're still all around. Yeah.
Babies hate interviews.
Yeah.
There we go. So, excluding Build-A-Figures, which Marvel Legends individual figures are your favorites and why?
Excluding BAFs.
Yeah.
Well, that Daredevil. I really like that Daredevil figure a lot.
This is Toy Biz, Urban Legends, or what?
Yeah, basically the Toy Biz Urban Legends Daredevil. You know, to be honest with you, I think Hasbro has really stepped up their game a lot.
Yeah, but that one, the Daredevil from the movie figures, that's the worst, probably the worst Marvel Legend ever made.
Yeah, to me that's the second worst ever made. The very first worst to me was Iron Lad, but I think I may have gotten a debunked figure because he couldn't even stand up. Mine could not stand. So I thought that articulation on that was absolutely terrible. But then Ben Affleck. Yeah, that one's absolutely terrible.
It's like a Star Wars figure.
Yeah, there's no point. But what's really weird about it is like from the elbows down, the articulation is like pretty damn cool because like he has ankle pivot and he has finger clamping and his wrist movement's all good.
All right.
Paint detail and sculpt is actually really nice on the boots and the gloves. But anyway, yeah, my favorites. I love the Series 6 Wolverine. I love Deadpool, which is the same body mold as that Daredevil we've been talking about. Mm-hmm. The Juggernaut. I always love that Juggernaut figure. I know it's kind of been shadowed by the Marvel Select lately, but I still really love that figure. Damn, there's so many of them that I really like. I gotta give some love to Hasbro for making that X-Force Wolverine, man. I love that X-Force Wolverine. I'm talking about the STCC version. I mean, it's got removable claws and stuff. I mean, it's just so cool. I've always been a fan of the Series 8 Black Widow. A lot of people don't like that figure, but I really do like that figure. That figure is fine.
That's the one with the
neck.
Yeah. What I did was I put my short-haired head from the 2-pack one on that one.
How did that come out?
her head sits.
shoulders are too
Yeah,
big,
the collar sits up so high that it looks like she has no neck.
Oh.
So I just have to pack it in with some sticky tack, and it'll probably work out.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, all right.
And yeah, she's got kind of like monkey arms. The shoulders that go all the way up, which is
Yeah.
kind of odd, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's almost like she's got too much articulation.
Yeah, yeah. A lot
It's-
of people said that. Yeah, like, and she has like
Yeah, double.
she
Double,
swivels
yeah.
her biceps. It's
That-
like wow,
I
there's
thi-
a lot of articulation. In
Yeah, I think the factory screwed up on that. They're like, okay, let's give her another one.
Yeah, yeah. Here and here. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I love that Series 6 Wolverine. In fact, the new Wolverine that just came out for Wave 3, I popped the claws off of that, and they will pop onto the Series 6. Actually, I have the Red Hulk one as well.
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
they pop
that's
on without any modification, so it's awesome. That's
Nice.
a nice quick kit bash.
Nice. There's a bunch of other figures too that I just can't think of right now.
Sure, I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't let you read the questions before I'm giving it to you.
No.
Let's see. What advice do you have for other collectors out there?
Well, I recommend starting with your favorite team. So if you're a big X-Men fan, just try, because it's overwhelming, man. There are so many figures out there. Or just go with your favorite characters. Like sometimes your favorite characters may not be part of a team. Maybe like you just have like a connection with Iron Fist or something, and so if you want to get an Iron Fist and then get a Luke Cage to go with it, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's like collect with like what you really like. So I always recommend going with like the team that you like. Get an Avengers collection going on, and then get yourself some Avengers villains going on, so you can get some cool displays going, or battle scenes going. And same thing, with whatever it may be. Going with teams, I think, is a good way to start.
And what about just like hunting for toys?
Dude, hunting for toys is a bitch, man. Like especially the older Toy Biz ones. Look, nothing's free, right? Nothing is free. So you gotta either spend the time hunting on eBay, spend the time going to toy shows like this one, San Jose Toy Show, and then get lucky. So you spend the gas to drive out to a toy show, look around, go to your flea markets, look around, get a really good deal. At the same time, like if you're working really hard and you have the money and you don't have the time, because that's typically the case. It's like if you got a full-time job and you got kids and whatnot, and you're just gonna get yourself started in collecting, you may not have the time to be running around and spending all this time on your phone looking on eBay, watching all these auctions. And you just gotta bite the bullet and spend the money on it, because sometimes you just have to do it. Like I've always been a fan of the Transformers Masterpiece figures, and it's like that's just a toy line where you want those figures, you got to bite the bullet and cough up the bread on those figures. You may get really lucky and find it for super cheap, but for the most part, it's just not worth the time and energy to do it. Just cough up the bread and spend the money on it. So like, I have a bunch of people asking like for Todd McFarlane's, Spider-Man, figures like that. Dude, it's an expensive figure. Like
There's one inside that's all scratched up, and they want $115 for it.
See what it's just expensive. Yeah. So you got to cough up the money for them. Like, luckily for me, I have like, it's kind of weird now because I live in a different. I have a different experience now with my YouTube channel where I am very, very fortunate where I have viewers that look out for me.
Yeah.
I have friends and viewers that look out for me.
And join the Facebook group.
Yeah.
The trendy groups on Facebook.
Yeah, and when I go to the trading group, it's pretty cool because they always say, "Oh, I was asking this much, but damn, for you, Shartimus, I'll give you a good deal on it." And what that is like I said, nothing is free. I put a lot of work into my videos, man. I really, really do. So people giving me deals, I feel like I'm getting like I don't get hooked up for nothing. You know what I mean? I get hooked up because I do put a lot of work into them, and it's hard sometimes, man. I make those videos like right before I'm going to bed, and I'm editing it, and I'm tired as hell. And I don't, majority of the time, I don't want to be doing it while I'm doing it. And then be all energetic at the same time and trying to
make it fun.
Yeah, make it fun and like not let the stress of the day interfere with my excitement for the figure. You know what I mean? Like bring the excitement for the figure back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't seem like it's a lot of work, but it is. It actually is. So when people set me up, I really, really appreciate it because I feel like I'm getting acknowledged for that work I put into it.
Cool. So, what figures do you are you most looking forward to I guess Marvel Legends in particular, but just I guess from other lines too, because I know you collect a lot of other stuff.
I got the show or upcoming figures that haven't been released yet.
I guess stuff that's been announced that that you know is supposed to come out.
Well, I mean, I said aside from Marvel Legends, because everyone's should be excited for.
No. No, you can include other lines, but that's what I'm most.
Yeah,
that's all I collect, so that's all I really concerned about.
I'm super excited for the next waves that are coming out. I mean, I'm picking up all of them. I think, a lot of people are still. See, I've been bitching to Hasbro. See, here's the weird thing: is I've been bitching about Hasbro for years now. Like seriously, since 2009, I've been screaming about Hasbro not listening to the fans. And all of 2012, well, not all of it, but they've brought in a lot of ankle pivot in there, and they've done some really cool things overall. And then just hitting us with all these characters that we've been wanting, like giving us Jim Lee, Jean Grey finally. They're finishing up our Wrecking Crew. We're getting like 2 Hawkeyes. We're getting so much stuff. We're getting Pug. I mean, even though it's a Build-A-Figure, I hate that mini Build-A-Figure thing. But it's like, I can't hate so much anymore, man. So I'm excited. I really want them all. I'm really, really stoked for it. So I'm pumped for that. Aside from that, I'm excited for Transformers Masterpiece again, man. I'm gonna get the Hasbro Soundwave just so I can get the cassettes. So I love that Soundwave figure, so I might as well just keep one in robot mode and keep one in alt mode. And then, but I'm mostly getting it for the cassettes because it's like the price of getting a whole Hasbro Soundwave with the 5 cassettes is actually around the same price as getting the 4 cassettes from Takara, so might as well just get another Soundwave. And so I'm really excited for that. As far as other stuff goes, I'm looking forward to the Marvel Select Nightcrawler. Waiting for that to come out. I do want that one. And then, oh yeah, and then the second half of the Iron Man Legends line. Really looking forward to that. Can't wait to have a completed Build-A-Figure Ironmonger. So yeah, a lot of good stuff to get. I can't think of what. Oh, and then the Masterpiece Prowl and Blue Streak. So yeah, there's those Masterpiece figures. So Marvel Legends and Masterpiece figures.
Let's see. So what are your favorite moments from the comics?
From comics? Oh shoot. Well, see, I read a lot of graphic novels too, so like some of the things that really hit me big, my reading experience from graphic novels, aside from comics, and there is a difference. I say the biggest difference is that in graphic novels the characters die. In comics people don't die. They die, but they come back next month. It's all the same. So, but some of the biggest moments for me, well, as a kid, Maximum Carnage was my favorite thing. I loved Maximum Carnage. Actually, when I got back into reading comics, because then, like, when I was around 13, I started popping boners and trying to get laid. Or not trying to get laid, but you know what I mean? Like, my mind had, like...
refocused,
kind of, yeah. I deviated, and then when I was 21, I think I was feeling like a lot of... I got back into it again, so... Going back and reading Maximum Carnage is what I did before I went back to the comic book store. So I was like, if I could hang reading comics before I get myself buying them again and stuff. Actually, my friend Samurai Jack, who did the Ant-Man footage, he's the one who really got me back into comics because I was at his place and he had Venom, the Ultimate Venom saga, that 6-issue arc, and so from Ultimate Spider-Man. So I read that when I was in his place. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I read your issue? He's like, oh yeah, you may want to read the first issue of that arc. So I read it and I was like, damn. Yeah, it's cool. It took me a minute to like figure out where the bubbles went and everything again, but yeah, I read it, and then went through 2. So I just read all 6 of them right there. Went home, read Maximum Carnage, and I said to myself, "Let's do this." And I went to the comic book store and I had no idea what to buy. I was just totally confused. I was like, remember I like Spider-Man and X-Men, so I picked that up. So went back to Amazing Spider-Man, got Uncanny X-Men. But as far as like the biggest moments, shoot. God, it's so hard to say. There's like, I remember Maximum Carnage when I was a kid, but in recent history, I guess One More Day from Amazing Spider-Man really sticks to me because that pissed off so many people, and I just kind of like that it pissed off so many people because it didn't really piss me off so much. So it's one of those things where it's like, hey, it didn't piss me off, but everyone's kind of mad about it. I liked, there was that story with where they brought back Norman Osborn like did a clone of Gwen Stacy, and then like he had kids with Gwen Stacy's clone, and then there's like a boy and a girl that are all grown up and stuff like that. That was a really cool story, and that was drawn by Mike Deodato. Mike Deodato is my favorite comic book artist, I have to say.
Cool.
And yeah, so that kind of stuff.
Let's see. What are your favorite movies based on comic book characters?
Spider-Man 2.
You're talking about Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Dark Knight, and then actually, well, my number one favorite is actually the Avengers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm used to saying Spider-Man because for years I've always said Spider-Man, but the Avengers is number one. Then Spider-Man, then Spider-Man 2, then Dark Knight, and then X-Men 2, and then probably like Captain America. I liked Iron Man 1 a lot. Yeah, like in recent history, like they've just been knocking out of the park. Marvel's been killing it.
Yeah, finally we have a CGI Hulk that doesn't suck.
Yeah,
that was
my favorite Hulk.
Yeah.
Really my favorite Hulk.
Or just Hulk in Hulk in the
Bruce Banner,
movies.
too.
Yeah, Hulk in the movies that doesn't suck in any way, you know, or TV show or animated. I mean, he was awesome in that. All right, so let's see what points of articulation do you think are the most and least valuable on figures?
Waist joint, ankle pivot. Waist joint and ankle pivot. Those are the two where I'm like, dude, well.
Those are the most valuable?
Okay, like, it's really hard to say because I feel like, okay, waist joint and ankle pivot, I feel like, are the two that often get neglected when people make articulated figures. So, in the realm of articulated figures, assuming that they had already given double jointed elbows or double jointed knees and bicep rotation and shoulder joints and good head movement and all that, assuming that they went for the basics here, what's most often neglected, in my opinion, is a waist joint and the ankle pivot, because a lot of people will try to do the diaphragm joint thing, which I feel like just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So.
So you're just saying just being able to turn like a waist swivel or like or an ab crunch?
I would have to pick the waist swivel over an ab crunch, because here's the thing. Now, I did a review on the Iron Man 3 Mark 42 Iron Man figure. Now that has bare bones, like no articulation, right? The arms move up, they move out, the legs move forward, they move back just a little bit, and the head rotates around. That is it. So going to something that is at the most basic level like that, right? Mm-hmm. My choice first over anything else would be to add a waist swivel, because at that point you can at least turn the character around, have him face. You can at least get somewhat of a dynamic pose out of him. So I think waist swivel is number one. My favorite joint is the ankle pivot.
Yeah, I have to agree. It's very unutilized, unappreciated, and very valuable especially for ACBA.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it looks funky, but it's like you need it.
And what do you think is the most overrated point of articulation?
Most overrated?
Overrated or unnecessary?
Oh, well, I hate the single jointed swivel elbow like that, and the same thing with the knees. So a single joint mixed in with the swivel, I hate that.
Yeah.
God. It's like, dude, it's so lazy. Just put the work into it, double joint that thing, and get us a swivel going on in the thigh or something. Like, don't give me that. Well, I hate that joint. So
the thing that bothers me, especially with collectors that have been in the game for a long time, is say, I wish they had finger articulation. And it's like, unless you are somebody who uses magic or is a martial artist, or unless you're Spider-Man, if you hold a weapon, you should not have finger articulation, because eventually, because they don't hold weapons very well, they just like fall out. You know what I mean?
I have to disagree with that. I'm a big fan of finger articulation in the figures, but it's not like at the top of my priority list as far as what I want. But I don't really have that hard of a time getting figures to hold weapons when they have finger articulation, individual finger articulation. But at the same time, it's like, how many do I have that really...
Zoom tight.
Sorry, thank you. I can't think. I'm trying to think now of figures I have where I've been trying to get them. I haven't really had too much of a problem with figures with finger articulation.
Series 3 Thor, I think it is. That.
Oh yeah, it's just the grip thing though. It's clamping.
Yeah, it's the clamping.
Oh,
seems
I haven't
like,
had too much of a problem with that.
All right.
I think it's about the weight distribution. It's all about the balance.
Let's see.
Weight distribution is just balance.
How did you first meet other founding members of Marvel Legends community, like Boog and Sentry, Luthug, a lot of those old timers?
First person I met was Jerry Nightmare.
Okay.
Jerry Nightmare, which was honestly a very magical moment because at the time I didn't know that he was there. Well, actually, no. We had talked beforehand about being there, but I didn't know like where he was at that time. And he had been talking to Dave Bonner, who used to work for Hasbro, rest in peace, Dave Bonner. And he's not actually dead, but we talk about him like he passed away because we all wish that he was. I mean, come on, don't you wish he was still working for Hasbro?
For sure.
Dude,
but
yeah.
I also...
You know they dicked him, so
yeah.
There's that too. So it's catch.
Well, I'm also not a Marvel Universe fan, so...
No, but dude, the Marvel Legends comeback is because of him. The ideas came through Marvel Universe first, and then they got placed into Marvel Legends. Jesse Falcon got upset at me. He's like, you can't tell people that Dave Bonner was working on Marvel Legends. He had nothing to do with Marvel Legends. And I said, I don't believe that. I see all these things happen to Marvel Universe figures first, and then it happens to Marvel Legends.
It's like trickle down.
Yeah, exactly, trickle down. So I told him, I'm not stupid. I could tell that, like, what had happened. He's like, well, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that. And I'm like, okay, like, on the books, you want to say it like that, fine. I don't care, but I know what happened. Fans know what happened. You know what I mean? We saw paint apps come back to the Marvel figures. We saw the badass articulation. That new ankle rocker swivel thing, you know, that was on Universe figures first, and then the Marvel Legends. How are you gonna tell me he had nothing to do with that? It doesn't make any sense, man. Especially Tony. Tony was hired to work on Marvel Universe figures, and he always wanted to work on Legends, but Dave brought him in to work on Marvel Universe figures, and then Tony's working on Marvel Legends. Yeah, that has nothing to do with Dave at all. You know what I mean? Come on, it makes no sense, of course. So, anyway, I don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
You're talking about how you... Okay, so how'd you meet JRA Nightmare?
Oh, so he was talking to Dave Bonner. That's right. So he was talking to Dave Bonner about YouTube and stuff like that, and I was peeping, you know, new stuff on the camera. That video is actually still up on YouTube. And then I came around, and then I saw him there. I'm like, oh shit, JRA Nightmare. Oh, what's up, man? And he was talking to Dave.
So this was at Comic-Con?
Yeah, it was at Comic-Con 2009. And then Dave was like, oh yeah, and then Junior was like, oh yeah, you've seen Shartimus on YouTube, right? He's like, Shartimus Prime. I was like, are you the guy who put him up on the ceiling with the twisty ties and stuff? I was like, yeah, that's me, man. He was like, yeah, that's tight, that's tight. I was like, oh, cool. So that was really neat. And then I
So you didn't know Sentry at this point?
Hadn't met Sentry yet. No.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had met Sentry, and then I met Solid Snake later at that Comic-Con, and then it was like shortly after that I had met Sentry, and Sentry and I had went down to Solid Snake's place. And later on I found out, so I went to go pick up Sentry, and then him and I went for the long drive down to Salinas to meet Solid Snake, and I guess we met Solid in front of his place, and I guess Spencer had a knife in his pocket, but I didn't know about that. Then we met Solid Snake. He said that he had a gun in his back pocket because he didn't know if these guys were going to try to steal his figures and rape his family. So
that is so solid.
So KJ Hulk said, like, damn, so Shartimus, you brought your dukes to a knife fight. Sentry brought his knife to a gunfight.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, I didn't know what's going on. I'm the naive one, showing up weaponless here. I had my cell phone. That was it. So yeah, that was the first time I met all of those guys. The year after, got to meet Boog Nice 10, which is really, really awesome. Gotta love Boog, man. Boog is a great guy. And man, I really love these guys, man. And then Sean Long and I had actually met. Technically, Sean and I had met first. So, but we weren't talking. So we'd met through my band back in the day. He used to come out to shows and play shows and stuff. So we'd met through them. But that was at a time I met a lot of people. So it didn't click to me, but it clicked with him. He remembered me and stuff. And yeah. So Sean and I were technically the first two YouTube people to meet, but we weren't YouTubing at the time. So, and then Sean and I had met not too long after either, after the whole Comic-Con thing. Maybe about a year after, something like that. So, yeah. So it's been, you know, Sean Jr., Spencer, Solid, Boog, you know, all. I'm not forgetting anybody from Brazil with Love.
Alright, 2 more questions. Which figure would you like to have made again that was done very poorly in the past?
Rogue, even though I don't think it was done poorly, I just didn't like the face sculpt, but we could use Jim Lee Rogue. We are getting a new Rogue, but a Jim Lee Rogue.
So you're not all that excited about the new Rogue that's coming out?
I am, but not. Well, no, I'm not all excited. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting it, but I'm not hella excited about it. So it's cool, but I can't be super stoked about it.
All right. Anybody else?
Shit. There's a ton of them that I could.
These are poorly done. Okay,
X23 okay. For sure. X23 definitely needs to be done. X23 is actually probably at the top of my list.
Okay.
On my list, yeah.
All right. I was thinking Wanda.
Oh yes, definitely her. Yeah, especially with the new sexier sculpture.
Wanda and Spider-Woman.
Yeah,
those are terrible.
Too. Yeah.
Okay, last is what were some of your best and worst toy hunting experiences?
My best and worst toy hunting experience? I haven't really had a worst toy hunting experience, to be honest with you. Well, I did have one occasion where I went to a Target looking for the Astonishing Wolverine, and as I was walking in, I was walking by the aisles and I saw some guy with the Astonishing Wolverine just about to check out, and I'm like, oh man, do you have any more? You know if there's any more of those up there? He's like, this is the only one I saw, bro.
Was that like, the unmasked one?
I just wanted the regular one. It was the regular one. I was like, oh, damn it. And I ran over there, and sure enough, it wasn't there. I was so bummed. But one of the best experiences when I was on tour with Dexter Danger, the bass player, Ice Cat Mang, who actually co-wrote the Shartimus Prime theme song. He wrote the Shartimus Prime part of the theme song. I have to give him credit for that. And basically, him and I would, you know, because we were on tour, we don't have Walmarts close to where we live, so we would stop at Walmarts, and him and I both ran to the toy section, and like, if you've seen the collector documentary video part 3, that would be us, like, you know, speed walking, you know. But he would run though, he would straight up run, and he got there first. He ran into the toy aisle, went, oh, Nick Fury, grabbed Nick Fury, not realizing that he'd knocked over another figure. I come around the corner, I see a figure face down, and I notice on the back of it, there's a Wolverine face on there, and it looked different from the back of any of the other Wolverine figures I had. And I was like, and I picked it up, turned around, Series 6 Wolverine.
Nice.
I was like, oh, Wolverine! I look up, and Isaiah is like, oh, he was so mad, dude. He was so pissed. I was like, ah, Wolverine. You know, like at the collector documentary part 3 when Spencer's all like, ah, sick Wolverine, dude. Like that's where that came from, was that whole experience right there. But that's actually what I wanted to do originally, was to reenact that whole scene, but I thought it was kind of funnier. I had to throw in the toilet paper thing with me making the decision, so, and it made the video a little longer too. So anyway, that was like, there was a glorious moment. And then I got to the car. That was in Provo, Utah. I had picked up Omega Red in Washington State, so I had my Omega Red and Wolverine battling it out in the van while we're driving to the next place and everything. He was just sitting there, just.
Did he even get the Nick Fury?
Nah, he couldn't afford it anyway. I was like, dude, see, because what I had done is I had a bunch of extra Marvel Legends, so I brought a bunch of them with me in the tour van. To basically, what I did was I'd buy them and then use the figures that I had in the van and just return that. So,
oh.
Yeah. So I just returned whatever my stock with me.
Gotcha.
So I could find all the new stuff. So, yeah, gotta be clever, you know. Gotta be smart with your money, especially if you didn't have much.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting down with me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool. Now I'm starting to feel awake more now that I told that story. Getting stoked off of that Wolverine.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
because he's the only character exposable on the team.
Here we are at the San Jose Toy Show. There's Shartimus Prime doing some shopping. Actually bought some stuff from these guys. Got some loose figures from these guys. I think they're up from Orange County. It's a Cape and Cowl. They have a McFarlane Spider-Man for $115, but he's in pretty bad shape. And Series 6 Deadpool for $85. Shartimus and his buddy Phil going through the loose figure bins, which I did twice already. Shartimus spent a whole lot of money on Transformers over here. This guy's got a lot of Transformers, new ones, imports. Did you find anything good there, Shartimus?
What?
Did you find anything good?
Oh, this is just what I was talking about. No, actually, this is terrible. It's the Iron Lad figure. I was just checking to see if it was just mine that was hella funky, but this one looks like he can stand. God forbid I take it out of the plastic, but yeah, he can stand.
He can stand inside a bag.
Yeah, he can stand inside a bag. So mine was just especially messed up, but I don't know, I was kind of hoping I'd run into something. There's not a whole lot of stuff I'm looking for.
Yeah, I've been through there twice.
There's not, like, yeah.
That's where I found the Super Skrull.
Oh, the movie Sin. This is actually, that is a comic book. I really like this one. Why you gotta call me out on camera?
And Dave, what is your, what's your YouTube name?
Incline Designs.
Incline Designs. Expert Transformers customizer.
In the world, everything except expert.
Oh, okay.
We're like, make mistakes along the way, fix them. Create new ways of customizing. There we go, bam. I know, right? Man, how are you?
All right. Well, I'm gonna be
bummed I don't have a full-on Luke Cage customized Pokemon. Ooh, Series 6 Deadpool.
Why did you smell it?
I don't know, just in case it smelled like shit. Did you see the documentary part 3?
Yes, I did. You think Sentry was here, huh?
Yeah, he may have been. Charlita 1 actually is here. She's the one who really had her way with.
She's looking for Monster High, isn't she?
Yeah. Yep, she's on the hunt for Monster High. She's getting her high on Monster High. She finds it.
I did see a couple people with Monster High dolls. Alright, so this is Sunday afternoon. Things are wrapping up here. Deals are being made. And I'm out of here.
Best collection ever. That's one that needs to get redone, is Black Bolt.
Yeah, there's two in there. Pretty decent price too.
Yeah, pretty terribly. Hate that figure. So, we're out of space and everything. We're shooting 115 for the
McFarlane
Spider-Man with extra battle damage.
Yeah, extra battle damage,
I
yeah.
think that's a stretch.
Yeah.
115 is a little too much. He sells it.
Alright, we're out of here. Later, San Jose Toy Show.